Oh yeah, so I wanted to do a video where I complained about something that really annoys me about sort of pandemic and virus films. It's a genre of film I quite like. But there's one thing that really annoys me in lots of those films, and it's how the scientists or whoever else never follow proper quarantine procedures when they know there's like a horrible deadly virus going about, and then everybody gets infected. Now, I've sort of ranted about this a bit before in my videos about things, movies and games get wrong about gas masks, but I find this is one that's, like really, really bad, so much that it warrants its own video. And that's, just how often, I guess because of lazy writing or bad script writing, in these things they have to have, scientists not follow proper contamination type procedures to actually, allow a virus to spread. Now, you see, personally, if I was in charge, right, and bear in mind, I'm not a biologist or a chemist or anything like that, but I'd still imagine personally that if there was a virus going about, something, or bacteria or whatever, that's very, very deadly, very likely to, wipe out the human race or whatever else, like, happens in these films. Personally, right, what I'd do is I would have everybody who might be working with people who are ill with that in full NBC gear like this, so your skin's totally covered and everything like that. I'd have them all, decked up like this for working with the people who are infected, have proper decontamination procedures or things like that. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't have somebody with like some sort of little surgical mask on or a little, face visor coming into contact with the virus or the bacteria, because there seems to be a problem with all these sort of films and TV shows and whatever else. When there's something super deadly, there is no safeguards put in place to stop it spreading. And again, it's poor writing, because you could definitely have a, film like this where you have all these virus, type things, and they spread because certain, safety procedures break down. If you look at lots of real-life examples of industrial disasters and things like that, often they go wrong because lots and lots of small issues just add up to make, the big issue when it goes wrong go horribly wrong. So if you didn't have lazy script writing, you could have something like that happen, actually show that there are procedures in place to stop people becoming infected with these sort of viruses or bacteria or whatever. Just make it so, it's too little too late when all the stuff happens. But instead, what you actually get with all these films is labs where there are no safety procedures in place, apparently no quarantine procedures, nobody is decked out with actual bacteriological proof gear on. And then, what a surprise, the thing spreads. So, yeah, that's just something I want to have a little bit of a rant about. Maybe I'll cover some of the other topics in a bit more detail when I do those sort of videos, but yeah, it's, if somebody like me who just collects this stuff for fun can get all this type of gear on, relatively cheaply, why can't a big multi-million, dollar, multi-million pound, or billion-pound pharmaceutical company, or whatever else from all these things, or the emergency response agencies actually have people wearing the right gear? But again, I suppose, life is stranger than fiction, because when there was that chlorine gas cloud off the English coastline, and lots of people, were injured by the chlorine, lots of the NHS staff that were treating them didn't actually have respirators on. So, well, yeah, so maybe that is, like a thing. If you thought that maybe those people actually had some sort of infectious bacteria, rather than, like just chemical burns to their lungs or something, then, yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it? Your emergency responders aren't wearing any sort of protective gear, so yeah, maybe there is some truth in television with that these people are woefully inequipped, but it's just something I find annoying, because as I said, if you didn't have lazy script writing, you could have the people actually, the director or whatever could demonstrate in these films or whatever why the virus can still break out even when lots of steps are taken to contain it. But in lots of these things, they're like, oh, here's a horribly infectious virus that will kill you. Just wear, a plastic face shield or something like that, or wear a surgical mask. That'll be enough. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's just my little complaint video. Why don't they always deck people out like this when they're responding to a deadly virus?